Can I do my video now? Hey. Oh, leave me alone. What are you doing? What? Dude, it freaking fits. Whoever said minivans aren't cool. Hello, today I'm gonna open this package from Profile Racing. If you haven't heard of Profile, they're a company out of Florida. They've been around for a long time. When I was racing BMX in the 80s, they were the crank to have. It was kind of a battle between whether you wanted a profile crank or a Redline Flight 401 crankset. They also did frames and other things, but they were more famous for their cranks and then eventually sprockets and things like that. In the BMX world, they're made in USA. They've been dedicated to manufacturing their products in the US ever since they started. And that's pretty awesome that they're still around today, and they make some of the best quality stuff out there. It's not cheap, but if you want quality, you want to check out Profile Racing. And they even make some mountain bike components. I would definitely check out their hubs for mountain biking, and they even make their chromoly cranks if you really wanted a crank that you know is strong. Cat, you can't be here. Go. If you really wanted a crank that was strong, and especially now with the one-by drivetrains, that's it right there. You're not gonna, it may not be the lightest thing out there, but they're not that bad. And definitely for your dirt jumpers and things like that, I would definitely suggest them. And the BMX world, people over there know about Profile, and then they make a line called Madeira. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And what that is basically this similar profile quality and stuff, but they just, maybe they don't put as polish of a finish on it and things like that, and the price is a little bit cheaper. And Madeira is basically targeted towards your street rider, freestyle BMX rider who probably doesn't care so much about all the little pristine perfection on components, but good stuff. All right, let's get into opening up this box. So I ordered some stuff for my dirt jumper, my Haro, because I've been slowly upgrading that bike. And there's two things I really want to upgrade on it that I'm not that satisfied with right now. Let's start with this guy right here. This is a stem. I was jumping the trails at Cottage Grove, and I kept noticing every once in a while if I landed hard, the bars would move. And I just got those new Deity bars, and there's the stem. Made in USA. This thing is artwork. Super impressive. I love anodized blue. The thing that's kind of interesting, it's really hard to get your blues to match when you do that. I don't know why, but I just stopped caring. I just like anodized blue a lot. So there's the stem. What else do I have? Ooh, bottom bracket. This is what they call the outboard bottom bracket, external bottom bracket. And I got Sprocket. We can just talk about the matching blues right here, even with the same company. I think there must be something about blue where it's really hard to anodize and match it, because it's really hard to find even within the same company. And the thing I'm most excited about, obviously you're probably knowing what this is since I have a sprocket in the bottom bracket. And these are what I was talking about. The cranksets that Profile makes are just, you know, the design hasn't changed in years because they're just that good. So there's the spindle. You can tell it's the 48 spline. Usually when I see 48 spline, that tells me it's quality. The other splines, I don't know how many it is. Like on the Haro crankset I'd be replacing. Generally, those are the cranks that come from China or Taiwan. They even have the install tool. Comes with the crank. And here we go. So this design probably hasn't changed since I'd say the late 80s. I think I can't remember what year they started, if it was the late 70s or early 80s, but the crank used to have kind of flat sides on it, the original ones, and I believe you can still get them. They're kind of like their vintage or classic crank for people who are building retro bikes and projects. But this design, they basically rounded out the crank arm, and it's been the same ever since. They do have a couple other ones. They've got a 22 millimeter spindle. This is the 19 millimeter spindle. That's more for you know, street riders and stuff. They have a race crank, which is lighter weight and so on and so forth. But this is the one that I know is tried and true. So that's what I have for you today. Oh, look at the other arm. Oh, and one of the things that I should mention, now that I'm thinking about it, is you notice there's no boss on here, or no bolt on the crank arm to hold the sprocket, and there is no hole on the sprocket because, we'll take this out of there and see if I can show you on the camera. I have no idea if I can, but if you look, there's 48 splines, and so basically this slides onto the spindle, and it's called the no boss setup. So it's pretty slick. Just direct drive right from the spindle, and you don't have this bolt, and you don't have to worry about it getting sheared or wearing out the sprocket. It just looks a lot cleaner. So that's the way I'm going. This is all going to go on my Haro dirt jump bike. I'm really hoping this stem will hold my bars better. It should. And yeah, there's my package from Profile. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.